I'm Mike. This is MikeOnMedia. Today I'm diving into the reboot of The Naked Gun. Is it comedy gold or comedy mold? Let's find out. Released in August of 2025, The Naked Gun attempts to resurrect the comedic world established by the 1988 movie of the same name. Directed by Akiva Schaffer, a Saturday Night Live alum who was best known as the creative force behind many of the SNL digital shorts. He also directed 2007's Hot Rod and more recently Disney's Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers. The Naked Gun 2025 was written by Schaffer and others and notably produced by Seth MacFarlane of Family Guy fame. To really understand the dynamics of this movie, we have to dig into history a little bit. The 1988 namesake movie was a genre-defining comedy classic and the brainchild of the legendary comedy spoof trio David Zucker, Jim Abrams, and Jerry Zucker, collectively known as Zucker, Abrams, and Zucker. This team was the creative force behind 1980's Airplane, another spoof movie generally considered to be one of the best comedies of all time. While initially pitched as a movie, their follow-up idea, a spoof of the police procedural genre, started out life as a television show, Police Squad, that aired on ABC in 1982, complete with Leslie Nielsen as Frank Drebin. Despite being canceled after just 4 episodes had aired, the show had an undeniable appeal that was probably ahead of its time, and definitely did not fit nicely within the boundaries of traditional network television. Unique characteristics of the show included the on-screen and the voiceover titles always mismatching, the special guest stars being killed off in the opening title sequence, and an end credit gag where part of the frame froze and part didn't. 6 episodes were recorded. You can find them online if you dig around a bit. Thankfully for fans of comedy everywhere, what had failed on the small screen translated incredibly well to the big screen, with The Naked Gun becoming an undeniable critical and commercial success. While Paramount Pictures tried to recreate the magic with 2 sequels, The Naked Gun 2.5, The Smell of Fear, and The Naked Gun 33 1/3, The Final Insult, the quality predictably declined, although admittedly the movies remained financial successes. As far back as 2009, there were plans to create another Naked Gun movie. However, those plans fizzled out. The project that would become The Naked Gun 2025 can trace its roots back to 2013. David Zucker had some involvement with the project initially, but later, once Seth MacFarlane came on board, Zucker felt like he wasn't treated fairly. And honestly, he makes a pretty good case. I'll link to an interview in the description. Needless to say, Zucker is not a fan of the rebooted movie. As they say, dying is easy, comedy is hard. Let's see if this movie is DOA or if it's actually funny. The current-day Los Angeles Police Squad department is largely populated by the offspring of the 1988-era police squad, including most notably Frank Drebin Jr., played by Liam Neeson. Like his father before him, Drebin is predictably clumsy, prone to shoot first, ask questions later, and much to the dismay of his superiors, reasonably effective at his job. In short order, Drebin crosses paths with Beth Davenport, aka Pamela Anderson, the sister of a man who was recently killed. She's convinced his death was the result of foul play. Soon after, both begin to suspect the involvement of an evil billionaire who, among other things, is the head of a company that produces electric vehicles, a very nuanced, subtle cultural reference. Drebin and Davenport team up to investigate the brother's death, only to uncover a vast and sinister conspiracy, all while unexpectedly falling for each other along the way. Of course, none of this really matters all that much because, let's be honest, the plot is mostly a framework for jokes. The casting and acting are all good. I have no complaints. It is somewhat amusing to see Liam Neeson as Frank Drebin Jr., given the types of characters that he usually plays. Now, there's a lot of derivative comedy in this movie, much of it taken, of course, from Airplane, the Naked Gun movies, and Police Squad. If not done well, this could have easily been a problem. In this case, however, I suggest it's good. The Naked Gun 2025 is full of the humorously misunderstood dialogue that's the hallmark of Airplane and the Naked Gun. If you've ever quoted the following line, you'll probably like this movie.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
There are several characters, numerous scenes, and many lines of dialogue that are direct references to the previous movies. If the intention had been to exploit these prior movies by simply copying them, the result would have been disastrous. Instead, The Naked Gun 2025 feels more like an homage to these classic movies done by and for people who truly appreciate and respect them. These parts of the movie are done well. There is some minor spoofing of other more recent movies, but not a whole lot. And more generally, there's not a lot in the way of otherwise truly original comedy. And what little there is okay. In other words, the film is first and foremost a reboot of The Naked Gun. No more, no less. It colors within those lines very well, but it doesn't try to venture outside them very much. Now, don't let these comments paint too negative of a picture. The movie is funny. It's just a certain type of movie. With movies in general and comedies in particular, it's often easier to start the movie than it is to end it. Even the original Naked Gun from 1988 had a bit of this problem, and so too does the version from 2025. Things get wrapped up, but it doesn't feel quite as satisfying as you initially hoped it would. Of note, the end credit sequence is long. It's got some funny bits in it, including an homage to the end credit convention from Police Squad, which is cool, but it's long. Now, one crime somebody might want to look into is, why is this movie so short? Coming in at 85 minutes, and that's including the very long end credit sequence, it's really at what I would consider the bare minimum length for a movie. People have pointed out that the original Naked Gun was also 85 minutes. Okay, point taken. However, successful movies today are considerably longer than they were in 1988, so that same 85 minutes is a smaller percentage of the typical audience expectation. Personally, if a movie's less than 90 minutes, I would question whether it's worthy of being a movie. Of course, comedy is hard, I get it, but nevertheless, when it comes to making movies, these kinds of details go along with the job description. In summary, The Naked Gun is good. I give it 3.5 out of 5 stars. I doubt people will appreciate the 2025 version of The Naked Gun 40 years from now, the same way that many people today appreciate the 1988 version, but that doesn't really matter. The most important question for a comedy is, does it make you laugh? I suggest this movie will likely make you laugh. So keep your expectations in check, see the movie, and have fun. As always, thank you for watching. Please share your thoughts in the comments, like the video, and subscribe to the channel. Here's another video I think you'll like. This has been MikeOnMedia. Until next time.